heartbreaking slow songs. Now I'm ducking fake love in a world I don't belong. She poured out her lies like whiskey in my cup, and every I love you was just a setting me up. Now I'm riding with the devil and my demons in the back, praying country boys like me don't ever fold a crack. Yeah. Dirt on my boots and blood on my name, and smile on my face, but they throwing the blame. Got snakes in the grass, gotta mow them again. I came from the bottom, don't ask where I've been. My brother got locked, now my heart been froze. Keeping this pain in the styrofoam dose. Mama said, son, don't forget where you from, but I'm running from a past that won't ever be done. I was raised on back roads, heartbreaking slow songs. Now I'm ducking fake love in a world I don't belong. She poured out lies like whiskey in my cup, and every I love you was just a setting me up. Now I'm riding with the devil and my demons in the back, praying country boys like me don't ever fold a crack. Yeah. Tattoos cover pain I don't speak on. Had to lose it all just to get my feet on. She left me on red when I needed the most. Now she scrolling my page like she seeing the ghost. Chrome on the dash and the pass in the mirror. I ain't letting up, vision never been clearer. Got a 4-5 tucked in my flannel shirt, and I don't trust love, only know it hurts. I gave her the keys to my heart and my truck. She gave them away like it wasn't enough. Now I'm just a ghost in a small town song, trying to make it right what's been wrong for too long. I was raised on back roads, heartbreaking slow songs. Now I'm ducking fake love in a world I don't belong. She poured out her lies like whiskey in my cup, and every I love you was just a setting me up. Now I'm riding with the devil and my demons in the back, praying country boys like me don't ever fold a crack. Mama said I was born for the storm, tatted up pain in a heart that's torn. Dirt road dreams in the backseat pass, with a pistol in the glove box moving too fast. Smoke in my lungs and regrets in the mirror, voices in my head but the Lord ain't near. I'm a lost soul riding where the angels don't go, on a back road path with a trunk full of gold. I've been riding with the devil, hands tied on the wheel, feeling like a rebel with a scar that won't heal. Whiskey in my blood and the past won't let go. If I crash tonight, at least I went full throttle. Yeah, I'm riding. Wearing boots and sin, every ball play in, I lose, I win. Got a Bible verse sync that I still don't read, but I pray through the speakers when I bleed on these beats. I ain't asking for a savior, just a little bit of peace, but this outlaw life got a grip on me. I'm a prayer in the dark, I'm a hymn gone wrong, I'm a sinner in the booth laying truth in a song.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great start to your Friday evening. Man, I got to tell you what, I'm absolutely hyped for these Friday night live digs. These have quickly become one of my favorite streams to do. I think people are locked in, and it seems like the chat is super active. So I know tonight's going to be a good one. Let's see who's all tuning in, rather. Turning up and tuning in. What up, Jim? The Missing Logic's out here door dashing, listening to the Hive. I love it. Don't stumble into any quadruple murders. Just looking out for you. What up, Pandora? Daily Twin Flame, what up, what up? Growth Renewal. Saw some UK folks in here. They're up late. No talkie before coffee. Happy weekend is right. Miss Jess, what up? Bird is the word. I love that. Love that. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you so much. Let me just pull this one thing on up and then. Laura is tuning in from Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier? Mount Rainier? I just got to pull up this one dashboard here quick so I can see more of the chat. All right, there we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Sabrina. You rock. Court, how are you doing? Jill, good to see you. Philly Special says the birds suck. 1111 says, Birdie, does that translate to don't question my Wi-Fi choices? I've got divine Wi-Fi. I guess it could. Best part of my week as well. Carol says TGIF. Jesus. Thank God it's Friday. Birdie and Hive. Detroit Tigers are winning. Let's go. What's up, Luna? Shoe Girl. CK is locked in, ready to go. Amanda B from West Virginia. Nobody's NBA. Is that ATL Drew? Nice, man. Good to see you. He says, finally off work and truly live tonight. You're all welcome for your HVAC services. We work long hours, but every night I can decompress with my wife. Tuning into the Hive. What's up, Bird Dog? Man, good to see you. Good to see you. Out here grinding on a Friday. Lisa accidentally took a 5-hour nap after work, but now she's ready to go. Tig. Oh, biddies. Ready to turn up. Love it. Genuinely confused. Has a brand new nickname ready to go. Pennsylvania says, what's up? Well, yeah. So 1111, I said that because, it was saying obviously like riding with the devil. And I'm like, I don't know. It's still like the song goes too hard to not play it. And I feel like with all the deep the symbolism and stuff we talk about, I just wanted to clarify that song was not anything subliminal. Birdie Blue Eyes in the house. Gamble, good to see you. Doc Terry. Kyler says the mic sounds good. Well, Kyler, you get the first top dog or the top dog award of the night. Thank you. I got up so early this morning. I unplugged everything and I just redid it from scratch. It's a joke how like finicky a mic is just to stream, just to come hang out in the Hive. It's ridiculous, but I'm glad that it's sounding good. I'm having a great night. Sparkly Starfish. Me and Mrs. Birdie went and we went to a Mexican joint that was right down the road from our spot that has phenomenal quesadillas. And she likes it because they have that, what is it called? Like the mole sauce? Mole? That's her favorite. So we went there tonight. Heatherly, how are you doing? Jeez, I don't even know. I shit you not. It's Andrea. That's funny. Love the Friday night deep dives. Let's go. Absolutely. Well, okay. So this evening, in the spirit of doing a live dig, I felt like what's something that we're all saying? It's why don't we know this? Why don't we know this? This is so weird. They're not telling us anything. This makes no sense. And the theme and kind of the mentality, I guess you could call it tonight, is what would we be asking if we were demanding answers? If we were demanding answers, what would we ask? And I have, kind of the top 5 secrets up there. I've got 5. I'm sure everybody in here could easily name 5. If you had to start thinking about 5 things that you'd want answers to, I would bet everybody in the chat probably has at least one overlapping question. Right? So what I want to do tonight is really point out these 5 things. And my thought process on pointing out these 5 things is it's not like it's just one thing. So you look at the people that say Brian Koberger is so guilty. There's so much evidence against him. Could they name 5 things? They could probably name them. Could they state them as fact? Or would they state them as narrative? Right? I've gone through this in my head kind of as a mental exercise, and I've come to the realization, not that I haven't known this. They have one thing. They have one thing. Maybe 2, and 2 is even a stretch, but 1 is the DNA. Right? That's kind of hard to fight in an argument standpoint from when you're battling the guilters online in the comments. They don't care to learn about the difference between trace/touch DNA and like a body fluid DNA, right? The other thing that they always talk about is he turned his phone off. So to that rebuttal, I always say, well, what other reasons would you turn your phone off? Typically then they respond with, but what are the odds that it goes down that same night, Birdie? Well, then I say, well, what are the odds that it looks like the entire frat network is involved? What are the odds that there's a 7-minute, 26-second delta on the body cams? What are the odds that everything's sealed and redacted? What are the odds that Brian Koberger has no connection to anybody? What are the odds that there's a lot of rumors about drug trafficking or human trafficking along that entire Pacific Northwest Highway? And I've said this before, and people will come at us for saying a bunch of different theories. But I do think it's time to start calling out the fact that those people have never embraced looking at any other thing outside of the mainstream narrative at all. I know that there's people in here who originally thought that Brian Koberger was guilty. I'm not saying that the Hive woke them up per se, but the second that you actually look into an alt theory, it becomes quite red pilly. And in the Hive, we give out 0 refunds on the red pills. No refunds. And I'm actually curious here. How many people has the Hive red pilled? Is there anybody in here where the Hive is the first kind of stream or chat or video that you've seen come out that woke you up to the fact Brian Koberger did not commit this crime? Type of 1 if that's the truth, or if that's your truth. Not an NPC, says my mom. Really? Because there's people in here that I would have never expected. A lot of people are saying Pav woke him up. Not Lamey Jamie, says me. Not an NPC, says my mom. Chelsea woke up. Jim woke up. LA Mike was red pilled by the Hive. Wow. And this is all by the Hive. I mean, I'm always curious too, like, what is it? Is it just that you hadn't heard it? You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a lot of situations like that in life in general, where it's like, maybe you just haven't heard something. And then the second you hear it, it's like, damn, hang on. That makes way more sense. Way more sense. But it's just that you never had heard it. Yeah, and it's and you know what? I'm glad that, you know, people are saying Pav or Lana or Truth and Transparency booking Booking with B in the Hive. Good. I love that. I love that. That is, I hate to say it, this is the one thing that I'll flex with as far as the Hive goes. The Hive wants the tide to rise when it comes to people like this. We understand here that a high tide raises all ships. I want to see everybody win. We want to see everybody seek the truth. It's the best. It is the best. And we're here to socialize the information, as George Webb described the Hive. He said, Birdie and the Hive, they socialize the information. We can put out our own theories, but I think it's important to socialize it. And I think that was a great description of what it is that we do. Miss Jess says, I've always questioned everything since I arrived in this realm. I love that. Yeah, so Sabrina says, yes, what did Adam do that night and what Maddie told him? Just truth. I think we are the normal ones left here. I saw a lot of people talking about Pav's video with what they told Adam, what Maddie told Adam. I think it was kind of funny how he did it. You know, he's like, hey, sorry to let everybody down. You know, I think these are just kids being kids. I think there's probably truth to that. But man, doesn't it sting? Doesn't it sting when you see the police report and they say, oh yeah, we got it on CD or we have it on file, but there's nothing? Because we know better at this point with this case. That's never coming out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's saying the wrong Adam. I don't know. I felt like it seemed. I don't know on that one. I don't know if it was the wrong Adam. Are you saying that they interviewed the wrong Adam? Detective Mowry says, Birdie, the real problem with this entire case and incident is the presentation of progression and is by far the largest issue of confusion. God, every time I have to do this, Detective Mowry, it just, I don't want to give you the top dog after how many times you apparently went out with my mom. You get one of those a night, Detective Mowry. That's it. The mods are aware. Yeah, I mean, Lily says, isn't it odd that Adam now lives in Florida? Yes and no. I mean, I would have gotten the hell out of Dodge. I would have transferred immediately, having nothing to do with him. Just trying to read some of these comments here. What up, Jeremy? Scarlet H says, I just got here. Just curious, how long is this live, or how long does this live have left? So typically on weeknights, I start at 7 p.m. Central, and I'll go for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. But on Fridays, I do what I'm calling the Sting, which is kind of current events, wild headlines of the week, which today was Toyota is going to start charging for Apple CarPlay. They're going to have a subscription service for your fuel tank and your oil gauge. They're about to cook us all. It's going to be a subscription-based digital dash, which is just a joke. That is Friday mornings at 9, and then Friday evenings at 9, I do the late night kind of live digs like this. And if this is your first time in the Hive, this is a contrarian thinking live stream where we are not afraid to think past the headlines. So if you're easily rattled or offended on behalf of others, this is not going to be the streams for you, or the stream for you. Is this anybody's first time tuning in? If so, let us know. We'd love to welcome you. totally not my first time catching you actually live on time. Oh, I got you. No worries. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Scarlett. Love the replay crew. UFO dog. No, it's not. This is like your 69th time. All right. I just want to remind everybody how weird this is. So this has nothing to do with the top 5 secrets they're hiding, but I was going through my slides and this was a Hive Mind find that I found out. And how weird is this? From Game of Thrones, I believe. Tell me they don't look exactly alike. I forgot who sent this Hive Mind find. If you're in here, let me know, because yeah, tell me that that's not creepy as hell. And then this one, like I've gotten some weird ass theories in my DMs. This entire basis of the theory was on something that is real, which is predictive programming. Predictive, kind of, they're putting it in your face beforehand, getting you used to it. That low key looks like Brian Koberger. It's creepy AF is right, UFO dog. Tiggle Biddy says, Not Lammy Jamie says, oh yeah, we talked about this months ago. Truth is stranger than fiction. I concur. Stone says, is that Nancy Pelosi next to Brian Koberg? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I don't know why, but there's a few politicians that are just like free game. Like Trump is one of them. Pelosi's one of them. I don't know. I feel like there's this free game that it's like, it doesn't matter. Anything you say about them is kind of funny. Like, tonight's going to be a good one, Hive. I can tell. Oh, man. That is hilarious. Lots of top dog awards tonight. Absolutely. Gang, what's up? Savvy Rooster says it's all central casting. Maybe it is him. I don't disagree. But I just wanted to kind of grab everybody's attention with this, because what if AI could actually like tell who this is as an actor? You know what I mean? Clearly, there's a lot of CGI and makeup and effects and masks and stuff on that. Amen to that. Caleb says, no, Birdie, Moscow PD are lazy. They've been doing this for decades. They forgot about people like Cy Ray, Birdie, Hive Mind, Phoenix, Sherlock Holmes. We are the Truman Show. You're right. It's a bad movie, says JoJo. Becky. You mean Minority Report AI? Becky. What song does that remind me of? I feel like I used to listen to a song in like middle school. I can't remember it. You don't see it, Lisa? All right. Well, nonetheless, if you guys could please go ahead and officially join the Hive Mind, please take 5 seconds right now. Swipe down on the chat, press the like button. That helps get this out into the algorithm. I go live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Central, as I was saying, and then on Friday mornings, typically around 9 a.m., sometimes earlier, but typically around 9 a.m. Central, I host about an hour morning show called The Sting, where it's more of the weekly headlines. So I would really appreciate it if you guys do hit the like button. Obviously, I keep all my streams free. I don't ever want to put anything behind a paywall. I don't intend to. So all I do ask is that you like and subscribe. Send this to your friends that are not yet red pilled. Maybe they drink too much tap water. They're over fluoridated. They're mouth breathing zombies. Maybe they don't have an internal dialogue. They believe everything that Nancy Disgrace says. They worship MSNPC. You know the type. Appreciate that, Karen and Blue Rain. Absolutely too much Kool-Aid. That it is, Mike. Mike says the house's resting place is strange. Absolutely. Bohemian Crow says, I have way too much internal dialogue. Who here feels like they have way too much internal dialogue? I do. It's a love-hate. It is a love-hate to have too much internal dialogue. Yeah, me. Like I said, I feel like whenever you come to the Hive, you have found your people. Look at this. This is hilarious. Thank you, Chelsea. She says, I look forward to joining the Hive each day. I love that. What's up, Allie? How are you doing? I love Shoe Girl's profile picture is hilarious. I love that. Grammy T, how are you doing? It should be like Grammy T, the most inappropriate grandma leaving comments in the Hive Mind ever. Should be your new username. How's it going, Ray? LA Mike says, yeah, all 7 of me have way too much internal dialogue. ADHD for life. Shout out to Red 40. Grammy T is wild. All right. So here's what I kind of want to get into is, and Friday nights are obviously super active with the chats. I have this. It's meant to be a rhetorical question, but is the Idaho 4 a conspiracy? And I have Brian Koberger cropped out as the Rock with the fanny pack down there. And it's like, duh. How is the Idaho 4 not a conspiracy? If anybody can give me a logical answer of why the Idaho 4 is not a conspiracy, an answer that has no rebuttal, I'll shut this stream down right now. That's how confident I feel in the fact that there's, for whatever you could say it's not a conspiracy for, we will have a rebuttal for why it is. And I would bet that we could say it's a conspiracy more times than you could say it's not. And you won't have rebuttals to stuff that we say. Yeah, crickets is right, Gail. Great comment. That's a great way to sum it up. Because Brian did it alone. Well, have you listened to the post-sentencing press conference? They can't put Brian in the house. He has no connection to the victims. That's actually a good point, Detective Mowry. God, I hate that I'm complimenting you. I don't even like looking at your face on the screen, Detective Mowry. Ugh, I'm just kidding. But no, it's a good point. Like, how would you define a conspiracy in this case? Yeah, it's a conspiracy that's not a conspiracy. Yeah, pretty much the news told us that it wasn't. I would take people in the Hive, like us, as a collective, versus any other. I would take our like live stream chat, like what we call the Hive, against any other live stream chat in the world. We would win. That's like, how would you guys answer this question? Do you guys love to win or do you hate to lose? God damn it, Detective Mowry. You went from top dog to real quick. When you're the hero long enough, you end up seeing yourself become the villain, and that is a perfect example, Detective Mowry. Shame. A lot of people are saying hate to lose. People saying both. Yeah. Hey, my mod Luna is on to you, Detective Mowry. I go with Stacy. I love to win. Yeah, my mom does hate creepy mustaches. I've never actually asked her, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that on behalf of my mother to protect her from Detective Mowry. Detective Mowry kind of reminds me in like Happy Gilmore, like Sal at the nursing home with Happy's grandma, but that's my mom. And it just really makes me despise you, Detective Mowry. Yeah, I love to win. Sweet victory. That's right. Not Lamey Jamie. That's a great question. Is it Ariana or Ariana? But I would say how I define a conspiracy in general is this. Outside of the scope of like what would a court say, right? You know, there's a conspiracy to commit X, Y, or Z. I would say this. If you're going to call a public facing talking point one thing, right? A public facing narrative one thing, but then behind closed doors, you're going to go and shake hands with powerful people and do the opposite behind closed doors for profit, for shareholders, wealth and happiness and investments. That's what I would call a conspiracy on a very basic level. You tell the public one thing, but behind closed doors, you do something else. And it's very obvious at the end of the day because you can look at the outcome, the results, the stocks, the rules, the laws. You know, it's obvious when it happens. That's how I would do it. Who just said that? Cryptic conversions. Yes. Thank you. How many times have I said the Hive takes what I'm saying in a run-on sentence in 45 seconds and you guys put it into less than 10 words? I would agree with that. Ditto cryptic conversions. It's a construction created to hide truth. Amen to that. Casey Jess and Art says it's an explanation for a significant event that involves a secret, sinister plot by a secret alliance of powerful individuals or organizations. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know why it's so funny. Like, I just think it's so funny to me whenever people throw like politicians' names out because it's like politicians, are they off limits because if they're on your side of right or left? No. They're still corrupt. They're still doing everything, but it's like you got to not self-identify with the person that's on your team. It's like if you have a shitty boss at your company and they're running the company into the ground, you got to fire their ass. You know what I mean? It's like with the people running this country. In general, any country. Well, that's all right, Mr. Smixon. We're all a little bit lost, right? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crack a Bezo here. Cheers, everybody, tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Nothing better than a live dig on a Friday night. So, like I said, this is a rhetorical question. Idaho conspiracy? Duh. And what do we call a conspiracy? Well, the house is gone. The sheath, there's an untested chain of custody. The motive is non existent. Witnesses are sealed. Surveillance is missing or redacted. And a grand jury was used to skip public testimony. Can you have all of these and not have a conspiracy? Genuine question. I don't think you can. And I'm not even trying to be dramatic. I really don't. If I saw this in any case, you know, you could say crime scene gone, murder weapon gone, motive, witnesses, surveillance, grand jury. Yeah. Tamara says perp sealed. I should add that. You're absolutely right. LA Mike says negative Ghost Rider. Patterns full. It is ridiculous, Grammy T. Sylvia's tuning in from Phoenix. That's such a good point, Court. Which one of these do you guys think is the most powerful towards a conspiracy? Because if you were to, let's say house right now is synonymous with crime scene. So if they got rid of the crime scene, for me, that's probably the biggest one. The house. Yeah, Susie Mac, that's one too. But for the sake of this, just on screen, Grammy T says, or Noel says Watergate. That is a giant conspiracy, absolutely. Sheath. I'm just talking about on the screen. House. DNA. I guess you could wrap that in with sheath, obviously. Kelly says if this case happened and someone wrote a book that was similar to this case, no one would believe this could happen. It's too crazy. Yeah. Wade Bird 77, aka Christine, says Watergate, you could call it Sheathgate. It's starting to look like Stickergate. I'm giving out top dogs left and right. Whoops. Pav New Mowich? Or do you mean Pav exposed Koberger New Mowich? The grand jury is very odd too. What are your guys' thoughts on the grand jury? You don't think so? What would you replace him with? Detective Mowry? It's my first beer. Well, actually, I had a Dos Equis at dinner with the wife. She didn't drink, though. Obviously. That's a deep rabbit hole. Brandon said Watergate was actually a conspiracy against Nixon, which is wild. The plumbers tried to get caught. They actually couldn't get the security's attention at first. There's a lot of great like podcasts, and there's a really good book about that as well. I don't remember the name of the book, but I listened to it on tape. Stone, good to see you, man. Stone says the Constitution obviously put the grand jury as a put away for the citizens to prosecute a state that will not prosecute itself, and they have been subverting it for quite some time. Well said. Is there which one of these would you guys replace? I know that I said top 5. I put 6 on here because I thought of the grand jury right at the end. Yeah, I agree, Pat. Pat says the secret grand jury was sus. Vonda Tallman. Yeah, the grand jury relied on a completely, it was a working document, actually, Vonda. Yeah, that's on record, too. It was a working document amongst, what was it, four or five people? It's just like a Google Doc. Just go in, edit it whenever you find something out. Yeah. Yep, Mrs. Birdie and I are having a baby. Well, so Luna, let me ask you on that. Or let me ask you about that. Isn't that because of the leaked texts with Steve G that we kind of assume that? Right? Yeah, I actually have. It's funny you say that. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. I don't cover up my other messages. Oh, come on. I'll turn that down. That's not it. But yeah, he texted me today. He's been tuning in. I'm actually trying to get a phone call set up with him this weekend. Yeah, that's what I thought, Luna. I thought that the whole Dylan kind of being sus came from those texts. Aviv Elvin, however you say that. Sorry. Bottom line about this case, the two surviving girls are lying. Finding out why is probably the first indication of what really happened. No, I'm texting with Will. I'm convinced that Will met Brian Koberger because Brian Koberger was a low-level informant. After having some conversations with Will, who knew Brian back in Pennsylvania. Will is an ex-Marine. He's been on the stream before. There's about an hour and a half interview that I did with him. And he talks about how Brian was just very quiet. And we actually had asked him a question of, do you think Brian was a Fed? He says no. And then Phoenix was on the interview too. And Phoenix had said, do you think he's an informant? And he paused. He said, no, I don't think so. Well, he texted me about 4 days later after the stream. And he says, I can't stop thinking about that question because Brian only ever showed up when we would go pick up in Patterson. And I never saw him use. Okay, that's a quote. So I've said this for a long time. Brian Koberger does not look like an ex-addict to me. And I'm not saying that ex-addicts can't get clean and completely change the perception. They can. I don't think Brian looks that way in the slightest. I really don't. Well, Will lived out in Pennsylvania. Appreciate that, Jago. Yeah, I'm going to try to have him back on now, JoJo. You know, Jeff, I got to tell you something, dude. 1 second. Jeff, I've seen people in the chat kind of gang up on you. Taken kind of the respectable route. And then I saw you in the comments on another channel just calling myself and everybody in here stupid. So I just find that kind of odd. Is the chat right about you, or I'm not really sure, man, because that was, and it was on my stalker Viviana's page, which is a little bit creepy, dude. But jokes aside, yeah, man, I try to give you the benefit of the doubt. Usually my chat's not wrong. Not saying you're not knowledgeable about the 30 years in the camera stuff, but I was a little bit hurt, man. I was a little bit hurt. You hurt my feelings because now I didn't want to have to do this to you, Jeff, but I know. And I'm doing this in good fun. If I can handle Detective Mowry talking about my mother. But I give you, I will say, I don't like being called whatever the words were, but it is what it is, bro. Just know that we're going to take the high road, and you are welcome to disagree in here. We just don't go and go on other people's pages, or at least I don't. No, I'm just seeing. I do wonder. It's just like, by nature, I feel like I'm a genuinely like nice person, maybe too trusting, until I'm not. Probably like a lot of people in here kind of see through stuff. I mean, I saw through it, but I'm like, God, just don't be a dick, Birdie. Just give him the benefit of the doubt. He put out all the Linda Lane footage that you've shown on your stream a bunch. He's added decent tips about what camera manipulation might be. God, just don't go read these comments. You might see Jeff's name in there, and what do you know? Sad day. I love Friday Night Digs. It's good times. Tamara says, who sent you? No, I have no problem with people disagreeing with my theories. At all. Because guess what? They're theories, everybody. Theories. That's it. It's so funny. Like, sometimes it is kind of funny, like seeing like the YouTube or like whatever social media's drama in the comments about people. Like how hard do you have to like be in other people's chats to just have a reputation where everybody knows, dude? It's funny. Okay, so anyways, these were kind of my top 6 right here. I added the grand jury at the last second, like I said. I think the house being gone, the sheath, no chain of custody, DNA doubling in size, or the snip doubling in size, whatever people want to say. That's a technicality. That's fine. It's still either way. There's no chain of custody on it. Motive, non-existent. One more question before we get off this slide. Who here has a motive as to why Brian Koberger would have killed these 4 people? Or even just one of them? What would be the best motive if we really were trying to find a motive for Brian Koberger? And it can't be anything that the mainstream media has said. You can't say criminology or research, because that's piss poor. It's not a bad thought, Rand, to go to prison. For the selfies to get out. Education. LA Mike says he's in the neighborhood and bored. Well, Detective Mowry, if you know the answer, let us know. The prosecutors don't even know. So Jeff H says, I think BK desired to know what it felt like to murder. A lot of people say this. My question back to that is, if the survey didn't come out, because I don't think serial killers or people that just want to know what it feels like to kill would come face to face with somebody and let them live and then pick a house at the last minute. You know what I mean? So I would say, like, what outside of the mainstream news telling you about a survey, which was approved by the board of DeSalles, which, if you know anything about that Reddit survey, the Reddit survey was just to get people who were anonymously willing to submit a survey that, when you click the link, went to a survey on an approved college website for this exact thing. So he wasn't just surveying people on Reddit. The survey was posted to Reddit for the anonymous factor. No, I agree, and that's why I kind of acknowledged it. I know I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying, Brian, with everything else, with how successful in school throughout his entire time and all that stuff. I mean, maybe, again, there's always going to be somebody that points out the outlier and all that shit. Yeah, of course. But I'm saying Brian just doesn't look that way. He was worried about health. He was vegan. He was transferring across the country and, trying to get into law enforcement and studying criminals. I don't know. I think it seems like he's more undercover, and that's what the narrative was formed around for. We can have a little bit of dark humor here on the Friday evening live digs. See, that's deep, Wolfpack. That's my type of conspiracy / motive. What are the odds Brian Koberger writes a damn paper about exactly what happens to him with wrongful convictions and how 90 to 95% of cases never even get a trial? You're overcharged and then you're forced into a plea deal. That's how wrongful convictions happen, and it's running rampant in this country. Our justice system needs trials. You should go in front of a jury of your peers and they should judge you. We are not a law of land, we are not a land of laws. We are a land of justice. The example that I'll give is this. Wolfpack, you're standing in the middle of the street, an 18-wheeler is coming by, it might hit you. I tackle you out of the way and I break your leg. You want to be a D-bag and sue me for assault because technically I did tackle you and I broke your leg. Well, if we were a land of laws, I would go to jail. I would get fined. But because we are supposed to be a land of justice, I'll go in front of my peers and be judged by them. And they'll say, well, yeah, Wolfpack, he was out of his mind, or she was out of her mind. Why are they standing in the middle of the road about to get hit by an 18-wheeler? I think it was just that Birdie tackled them out of the way and broke their leg while doing so to save a life. That's what our justice system is meant to do. That's what it's meant to do. Yeah, Cat's Mojo, to be famous. Does he seem like that type of dude, though? Because he's been quiet. Most people that want to be famous that do this shit, they're always yapping. See, there's some comments that I can't ignore, but Pub Giant says wanted a used Range Rover. That's I mean, it's I don't even know what to say to that shit. He wanted to impress Kopaka, 11 says. What's up, 11? Good to see you. 11 is NYPD police officer. Tuning in late night, 11. Up past your bedtime. Ooh, Jeff knows. Miss Jess says all the photos of the students, the friends, Brian, everything looks fake or staged. I've been hitting the photos hard. I don't think so. Carl Martin Jr. asks, was Mowich a cop? Was he? Did he try to be, maybe? That's a good point, too. Ellie Mike says, it's not how you start your murdering career. Yeah. Where's Detective Mowry? All talk, no walk. Oh, wait, there it is. Detective Mowry says, from taking a serial killer class in college, there's one rule you must follow if you want to get away with a murk. Well, what is it? Yeah, maybe he was going to go do a buy and he got set up. Circus music says better chance he's working. He looks like he'd fall down the stairs. As I said, Frankenstein's awkward nephew's not Jason Bourne timelining, sneaking in on anybody. Somebody would probably call the 911 or somebody would probably call the cops just based on the noise of the shuffle that Brian Koberger would make walking into that house. If you see that video of him walking to Costco, I made the joke. I'm like, I don't think that dude could stab 4 Capri Suns without spilling a drop, yet alone 4 people in 7 minutes and leave no DNA. You're picking Brian Koberger last for any gym class sport or flag football team, and you can't change my mind on that. Yeah, it's an amazing coincidence that he owned a USMC K-bar and an Elantra like the one seen circling the neighborhood like a shark. Well, isn't it an amazing coincidence that there's a bug shield on the one that's in evidence and there's not a bug shield on any of the cars that you see in the footage? And then you could say, oh, well, we don't know that. We can't see if there's a bug shield because it's taken with a potato. And I'm like, yeah, you also can't see the bug shield, nor can you see the license plate, nor can you see Brian Koberger inside of it in any of them. Thank you, Lisa, for reposting the stream. If you're over on X, please do that. It's the #1 sold K-bar on Amazon. I mean, I'll look this up right now. I'm not going to share my screen just because I don't want to. So there's over 500 bought this month already of that exact one. It's $102. Amazon Prime 2-day delivery. I mean, it's just crazy. SAR says your husband has the same K-bar. And Maltax, I agree. I agree. Shoegirl says, what I want to know is why the undercovers were circling the house. I also think it was a terrible area to be circling for open intoxicants. Outside of the fights, there was no activity. Like, that seems like a terrible spot to be looking for open intoxicants. Seems like nobody was there. Even the kids on the band field were like, oh, yeah, it seems like dead out here tonight. All right, Hive, I'll be right back. I got to pee. 1 second.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quite so thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, but there's logic, you can't stop it, it's been chronic, since I was a boy so neurotic and chaotic,
built to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I know.
stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. Don't never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I can change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no.
All right, I'm back. Appreciate that. Sorry about it. Just typing with one hand, saying everybody better hit that like button before I get back. That's what my wife always says to me too. All right, so moving on. That was a good discussion. The next discussion that I want to talk about is, where did everybody sleep that night? I'm telling you, this might hold the key to more answers than we would expect when it comes to where were they sleeping? I don't know why my light changed. Yeah, did anybody actually sleep? That's right. It's a great question. Sentimental Bogan. You don't even think they made it to bed. So, do you know who I actually think holds the key to a lot of this? I think it's Murphy. Because I don't believe that Murphy was in their room. It was in his room the entire time. At all. Does anybody have any theories on Murphy? And I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, they broke into the, to the doggy daycare. They stole Murphy back." But it's like, even at the scene of the 911 call, when the cops show up, Murphy was like a teleporting, he was everywhere. I would pay crazy amounts of money. Okay, what did Drew say? Drew said, "Jeff, why don't you hop on with me and Birdie and chat about how nobody went to sleep that night? Officer Rosendahl and David Loach got some explaining to do. Murphy was locked in a car." Jesus. Thank you for the super chat. And it makes my mental so happy that these chats are finally popping up flawlessly on screen. I think that's awesome. To everybody that does feel kind enough to give a super chat, that's great. Anything over $1.99 will pop up on the screen. I'm waiting on an AB cable, I think is the name of it, so that it will actually read out loud. And then I'm also working on an internet phone number. Like it'll be 1-800-BIRDIE, so that on these Friday night digs, we can do call-ins. We can have a timer set for 2 minutes, which I think will be epic. I think that'll be so fun. Because like I would love to have like Jeff call in right now. I'd love to have Jeff call in and then have Drew Bledsoe call in and then have UFO Dog call in and then have Grammy T call in. Mitty Witty call in. LA Mike call in. That would be the shit. And Luna says 1-800-PUDDLES. Watch 1-800-BIRDIE not be available and I'll have to use Puddles. No, it'd be fun. I think it would be fun. I mean, because, and I would do it in a way where it's not a debate. It's rather, you just get to come on and 2 minutes, you should be able to make your point, discuss it, move on. So I can't do that right now. I have the software for it, but I need, so I have like the virtual AB cable, but I forget the name of what I need. My mic setup, I have to have multiple ports and this one only has one, but I'm working on it. We'll get it right. Jeff might actually be able to help me out with that for what 1-800-JEFF H. Detective Mowry, I don't know if I'm going to allow you. You have to earn my good graces after all the mom comments. I feel like that's reasonable. Maybe Jeff is Viviana. Talk about a conspiracy. I did not. Happy Hound says somebody made a video about Jeff. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again for being here tonight. My brother? I don't think he is. What's up, Cheek Bait? Thank you so much. Blue-eyed candy. So I don't think the super stickers pop up unless I just missed that. It's only the super chats. They don't have a super sticker. Oh, nice. Queen of Denial figured it out. Thank you so much. Yeah, the super stickers don't pop up. It's only the super chats. This whatever Stream Elements doesn't have the super stickers, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Blue-eyed candy, you rock for that. Good to see you. You're not out on the town tonight. You're not partying. Just hanging out with the Hive. Somebody said something about Justice Berserker says, I would love to chat about my journey as an innocent convicted in an illegitimate court. Dude, you should apply for we can chat. But similar to Marissa's mother, where she's claiming her mom's wrongfully convicted, already down 25 years. We're going to start looking into that. Should apply for the roundtable coming up here at the end of the month. You have to wear a costume, but in general, on a serious note, yeah, I'm down. For anybody in the Hive that's got a story like that, absolutely. Are you in the Discord, or do you need my email? I've been giving out my email little to none. I've been trying to stop that and just work through the Discord. So where does everybody think that this is the accurate layout of where people are sleeping, or no? Ricky says, too old to party. Cheaper to stay home to get hammered. Hanging out with your internet friends in the Hive. That's exactly right. No, last Friday. Was it last Friday or 2 Fridays ago? Or Saturday? Whenever that was. That one was wild. Yeah, I don't think so either. I've never heard that, Gabby Ebby. Have you guys ever heard that? And who? Yeah, I was shotgunning the seltzers. Allie, agree, Birdie. No one slept at all. I don't think so either. You've heard it, KS, Jess and Art. Elizabeth hasn't. Well, I mean, if you guys remember the body cam too, like, isn't it weird they redact when Dylan is talking about where her room is? Heatherly says you need to put up your Venmo or Cash App so you get 100% of these funds. Thanks for all you do. Congrats to you, Mrs. Birdie. Thank you for creating the Hive, my favorite group of people. Well, thank you so much. You know, this is going to make me sound stupid. Thank you, Heatherly. I appreciate that. I didn't know that YouTube keeps like of this super chat, and I'm not trying to discredit or discourage anybody from sending them because right now, obviously, I don't have that other stuff set up. I didn't know that YouTube takes like 30% or whatever it is of those. So obviously for right now, if you guys are going to send them, I appreciated that. I never really thought about getting the other stuff set up because I didn't know, but now I do. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys being willing to do that. Like I said, I'm going to keep all these free. I never plan on charging. I just want you guys to have fun and look forward to, you know, coming and hanging out every night as much as I do from the bottom of my heart, really. Man, I don't know, dude. Like, okay. I'm not just trying to put only Detective Mowry's comments up because he makes shitty jokes about my mom. But on a real note, there's an argument to be made in favor of this. It would be a really good debate on this subject, which Detective Mowry says it really doesn't matter where they slept. It has zero relevance of where they were in the house. So, okay, I get what you're saying. So you're saying like where they were planning on sleeping from a technicality standpoint. Yes. But doesn't it matter where they were found and who was in each room? So that's why I'm saying that would be a really good debate. I think he's kind of referring more to like the technicality of like, well, where do they sleep on other nights? Yes. You should also do a stream on Kick. Maybe. I'm open to whatever. I just right now I'm genuinely just enjoying this. I'm excited for like I said, I'm kind of backing off. I had so many guests on where I just wanted to get back to hanging out, chatting with the Hive, doing the live digs. I'm determined for this Idaho 4 thing. Like I said, we're going to go back to the beginning. We just had so many guests. My working theory right now, again, for people that haven't heard this, is I think that the reason why everything's redacted on the body cams and everything's so weird, I think the girls killed one of the perpetrators, or Ethan did. I genuinely think that explains why we don't see the bodies being removed, why they put the tarps up, because we either see less than 4, more than 4, more males than females, things like that. Blue-Eyed Candy, thank you again so much. Says, I look forward to coming here and hanging out with my Hive Mind peeps and Birdie. Well, I'd look forward to coming here and hanging out with you, Blue-Eyed Candy, along with everybody else. That's just like that's my genuine opinion on what could explain it, because you think about Steve G's behavior in these interviews, and I'm not going to play this. I actually have his victim impact statement loaded up next. But somebody step up, somebody be alpha. Let's put Idaho on the map. I paid that bill. To me, if somebody tried to assassinate their daughter, and a father is upset about that, it would be like, I paid that bill, meaning you guys tried, you failed. Now I can speak on that. Somebody step up and tell me who put this hit out, is how I feel like that translates way more than just some random shit talk, because they're talking through the screen in that first interview outside Moscow PD, guys. They really are. Thank you, Allie. I love them as well. Well, you know what's so funny is I had to obviously kind of cut down on picking the top 5. And one of them that I had, when I go back and I scroll up through my notes, is why the hell would you ever need to subpoena a roommate? Ever. And then silence. Like, do we have an answer for that? Between why they had to subpoena Bethany and why the FBI did not arrest Brian Koberger on site, like, those are two questions that need to be answered. Because if you think about it, right, like, they have the guy. You have him under 24-hour surveillance. Like, why are you not grabbing him immediately? Why are you letting him drive across the country? Why are you risking destruction of evidence? It is not normal to tail a quadruple murderer over 2,000 miles for fun. That's not normal. Unless, let me let you in on a little secret, you're not convinced that it's him. And rather, you're waiting for the perfect narrative to fall into place. That's what I think. That's the only reason why you wouldn't arrest Brian Koberger on the spot, if he's really this knife-wielding maniac that just stabbed 4 people to death. You're waiting for the narrative to fall into place. And then on top of that, when you kind of think about that entire narrative around it, okay, so you're telling me that the FBI followed this guy across the country. They raided his house. They raided his car. They never found the knife. And then you start to wonder, well, what did they find? Did they find blood? No. Were there fibers in the apartment? Anything in the apartment? No. DNA, blood-stained clothing? No. Cleanup materials? No. Was there any journal or a manifesto or a trophy? No. Not in reality. They tried to make a thumbs up picture, and what he's going to school for, his academics, fit that. So you think that somebody can stab 4 people to death in the dark with military precision? You're not going to take on a scratch, a cut, or leave a mess in your vehicle. Come on. Come on. And thank you, not Lamey Jamie. SG knew the danger and trained them to be. Laura Croft. Well said. I agree. Thank you so much. Mr. Smixon says the way that the national media handled the Kopaka killing has always bugged the shit out of me. Treated BK the opposite way. I agree, dude. Court says, Birdie, did you know that there was an ROTC by the Idaho House and Charlie Kirk? Well, I never thought to look at the ROTC in Idaho until the Charlie Kirk thing, where I chatted with George Webb. But yeah, holy hell, is the ROTC just a giant grooming mechanism? That's what I have to ask. But that's what I would ask. And then, you go back to Bethany. So she's subpoenaed in Nevada, and then she's silenced completely. We don't hear anything. And like I said, why the hell would you need a roommate to be forced to testify? Well, there's a simple answer for that, Hive, and that's because she knows something. Like, I hate to break it to you, the reason why you would have to subpoena a roommate that witnessed this, that was in the house, she's in a different state, you have to force her to say something, is because she knows something. On top of that, her attorney fights it and then seals it. I'm just trying to think through. I'm like, what does she see? What did she hear? What does she know? Why is she protected from cross-examination? This smells like witness suppression. Right? Doesn't it? It seems like they are suppressing her as a witness. And I truly believe it's to protect her. I do. Not from Brian Koberger. Why would you have to protect her from Brian Koberger if he acted alone? Oh. Dude, I've seen theories. I've seen some theories about everybody in that house. Yeah, well, she's not protected on cross-examination. It never got to that part. Dude, I'm just trying to say in general, not just to you, Detective Mowry. God, I hate saying your name. I despise you, Detective Mowry. But seriously, put yourself in Bethany's shoes. You're home. 4 of your friends that you live with get stabbed. Why the hell would you ever have to be subpoenaed to come and testify to put the guy away for life? Ever. You wouldn't. At all. Brian Todd says DMs in Boise. Yeah, Miss Jess says the crimes were committed years ago. Brian's been locked up this whole time. Miss Jess, you are thinking way too logically. How dare you? Honest Mike says, is that really Detective Mowry? I don't know. Honest Mike, at one point we had Ann Taylor, Detective Mowry. Who else did we have in here, Hive? Shoe Girl's on fire right now. What if they aren't asking for her to testify? They're asking her to lie. Damn. That's true. Mr. Smixon says there's no other scenario where they aren't interrogated until Thanksgiving. Same thing too with the security footage that was in the light that shows the cars pulling in and out. They're like, oh, well, I can't. I'm home. I'm away in Boise until this. Really? Really? I'm sorry, but I'm also trying to put myself, if I was that neighbor and I'm in college and I'm home on Thanksgiving break and I lived a couple hours away, I can't imagine being at my parents' house and saying, oh, yeah, hey, my neighbors, they just got stabbed to death. And we might have the evidence on our Ring camera. The cops called me. I told them I can't get it to them until I come home in a couple weeks. Do you realize, guys, like, that's just not accurate. It's not accurate from just a normal person standpoint. That person's parents probably aren't going to do that. Would the cops really put up with that? It makes no sense. Yeah, and they could have just downloaded it and sent it, is exactly right, Mr. Smixon. Kim Howe says, Brian wouldn't scare me a bit. If he wasn't in prison, I would just look at him. Genuinely Confused asks, why are they charging $114,000 for the poll cams? Isn't this a free speech country? Is that on a FOIA? Right? Yeah, Simply Solo says home. Gen Z would do that, Birdie, says Dry Ciders. When does Gen Z start? Well, right. Yeah, Shoe Girl. That's not what happened. Gave him the login credentials right away because they didn't want it to be taped over. What up, April Seeks Justice? All right. Well, the next thing that I got here is I got Steve G's victim impact statement, and I wanted to play this, guys. When I tell you that I was shocked. What do you guys remember about the victim impact statements and the plea deal agreements? What's like one thing that really sticks out to you? What's like a common denominator in every court, or I guess like hearing, in every hearing? What's like the blatant thing in your face about all of them? No, I'm saying all of them. No. You guys are saying good. You guys are saying good ones. But I'm saying, like, what would we talk about? It's not something that's said. It's not just this one. Yeah. No, Brandon. I want to say it, but I'm also just curious. Blue Eyed Candy says, Birdie, did I miss you in the Hive reviewing BK footage at Costco, etc.? He was so awkward looking at his movements. Well, thank you for the super chat. I don't know if we reviewed him and the footage. I think I just kind of roasted him from a standpoint of like, I've seen everything that I need to see. There's no way that this guy is mobile enough to pull off that timeline. And people were like, Birdie thinks he could tell if somebody's a murderer by the way they walk. It's like, no, I can't tell if they're a murderer, but I can tell if they have the physical ability to use a weapon that requires close quarters combat that was designed for trench warfare to go to 2 different rooms, up 2 flights of stairs, get out without a trace in 7 minutes, apparently sit down, take a smoke break on a fuzzy chair, according to Dateline. Obviously, that's sarcasm. And then get away without spilling a drop. And he's shuffling into Costco. Doesn't even know he needs a Costco card to get in, for God's sakes. You rock, Blue Eyed Candy. Thank you again. I can't even sneak into Costco. You can tell he's not a Navy SEAL. Yeah. I put that post on X and I got absolutely flamed. Not flamed. It's just like I got swarmed. It's like anytime you start a new platform, like for whatever reason, people don't expect it. I'm used to it on TikTok. I'm used to it here. Put it on X. And that's literally what somebody said. They're like, this guy thinks he can tell a murderer. And like whatever his reasoning was, I was like, your response, like reading your response was like watching someone drown in a kiddie pool. And I've said this before, but they also said, for your methamphetamine needs, hit up Birdie. And I quickly reminded him that his mom is still working the corner and confront him, the family discount. But it just, so Miss Jess says, I've been searching for a channel like this. Love that. Top dog comment. Well, you found your people, Miss Jess. So what I what I've noticed about all of the courtroom footage is it's blurry as hell. Brian Koberger, people have said, like, I'm like, are his eyes open? Are they shut? And people are saying, oh, it's the frame rate. Oh, it's this. It's all these camera things, right? Probably something that our buddy Jeff H would know, which is hard because it's hard to talk shit about Jeff H because he's posted this stuff, but then I see him talking shit about us. So that's why he got the clown horn. But I have to stick to the principles of what the Hive is. And that is, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. We are the truth seekers. We don't need to go and talk shit on somebody's profile that looks like they're out of a Dr. Seuss book, as Sammy T would say. But Queen of Denial says you almost drown in a kiddie pool. Maybe that's why I like Brian. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here. How did you almost drown in a kiddie pool? CK just says we are all holograms. Simply Solo. Oh, that's hilarious. Top dog. The end part, especially. I agree with my own statement. Stone says denial ain't just a river in Egypt. Me too, T. Smith. Right? Disagreements are one thing. Rude and condescending is not okay, Ellie Ghetto. You know what's funny, though, is like I was talking to Discord Dawn and UFO Dog and Luna about this. I'm like, I feel like there's going to come a time where like the Hive is just going to say enough's enough. We don't talk bad about anybody. We just do our own thing. People just think we're an easy target to pick off. Just wait. Just wait because it's like, I don't want to have to do it. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. Someone step up. Someone be alpha. No, I didn't, UFO Dog. Let me scroll up and see if I can find it. One. Type it again. Sorry, brother. Yeah, don't poke the Hive. What's up, Amy? Happy Friday, Birdie. It's great to brainstorm theories. It shows intelligence. Amen to that. Jeremy says it's surprising we haven't heard a word from the parents fighting for his innocence. Wow. Yeah. Do you know what, dude? That's such a good point. I'm not saying this in a condescending way. Mr. and Mrs. Koberger, it is surprising. It's very surprising. I agree, Lamey Jamie. Lamey Jamie says, look at how much we've learned since we started fresh. Simply Solo says, Birdie, I'm at that point. I'm doing it and being alpha with my big hair. Didn't hear anything from Brian Laundrie's parents either. Lamey Jamie says. Yeah, Cammy, not really. They could have been threatened. Isn't that weird? Guys, like that's like something that really bothers me to my core. It really bothers me to my core is like, I feel like my entire childhood, I grew up, I don't know if you guys felt this way, but I grew up very like, I felt like insulated. Like I went to public school and everything, but in the Midwest, I feel like we're pretty insulated. And it's like, I grew up thinking America was number one in everything. And then I got bit by this bug that was like, holy shit. 9/11 might have been an inside job. I watched Loose change. Next thing you know, I'm banned from my high school computers. I lost the privilege for my entire senior year. Walked out of class by a police officer for looking up 9/11 inside job. I've told that story 5 times now. But that was really like, if anything, they just reinforce it. If they would have just let me probably watch that, they would have just let me watch that. It probably would have never kind of gotten me to this point. Yeah, there's a lot of people that seem to feel the same way. Yeah, right, dude. You can imagine my face when our cop comes in and grabs me on my shoulder, takes me down to the office. Mr. Smixon says, me too, until I got pepper sprayed in my front yard for not saying the alphabet. Wait, hold on. Is that a real story? Is that a real story? What is the context, Mr. Smixon? Yeah, maybe. Maybe at the end of the stream. Get a couple more Bush lattes in me. Jeremy says, I'm assuming you've watched David Icke. He's interesting to listen to. Yeah, you know what's funny that you say that is I like to listen to everybody. Honestly. A lot of people say, oh, you listen to David Icke, or oh, you listen to this person or that person. Like Alex Jones is a big one. I think it's low IQ. Like you can listen to stuff just for entertainment. I used to drive a lot more for work. I used to have to drive all over the Midwest because I was only 22 and 23. I couldn't rent a car. So I'd have to drive from Milwaukee out to Kentucky, out to Omaha, down to St. Louis, and up to Detroit. I literally drove that Mazda 3 until the wheels fell off. It was a manual too. I already know someone's probably going to say something funny about that. So to finish Mr. Smixon's story, said they were trying to say I was drinking and driving. You passed the sobriety test. They said, say the alphabet backwards. And I said, no. Is that, well, tell me that you were able to fight that ticket at least. Okay. Mr. Detective Mowry, you're out of here. Damn you, Detective Mowry. Amanda B from West Virginia says, one's comment. Thank you so much. Have you seen Underwear in the Street? Nunez BWC foot? No, I haven't. Where is that at? Thank you, Amanda B. Sorry, 1-1. Nobody's NBA says, bro, I'd like to know if they did any DNA testing or any sort of testing of those chonies in the street. Damn you. All right. Well, I want to get to this victim impact statement. And what I was saying, guys, is tell me if you guys have ever seen a video this clear. Am I tripping on this, or is this crystal? This is HD. And on a real note, LA Mike says, I can't wait until Vegas next year. I'm not even bullshitting you. We should get a CrimeCon booth. We should. I would do that. right? Where did this video come from? And what I think is so weird about it, guys, while this is shared, let me go back and show you this. So how weird is this? So this is 2 months ago from WWMT TV. Look at this. KHOU 11. They have 1.11 million subscribers. This only has 745 views. How is that possible? How is that possible? Half-baked cookie. No. See, when I say we're going to get a tent at CrimeCon, we're not actually going to be at CrimeCon. I'm going to say that we're going to, like, it's going to be like Hangover. We're just going to rent out a giant villa and we'll put a little streamer on the doorway when you walk in. It'll be a party with blackjack and with roulette, maybe a couple slot machines. There'll be an open mic where you can tell your favorite conspiracy theory. We'll have a DJ. Detective Mowry will be the male stripper for the ladies in this hive. Maybe we'll get DA to convince Tiggle Biddies to show up. You know, like, it'll be fun. Grammy T will have a stand-up bit. I'm sure it'll make everybody extremely uncomfortable. Maybe Mike Tyson will show up. Yeah. It sounds like fun. We might end up with our own Netflix documentary after that. But anyways, yeah, I just thought that this video is insanely clear.
Today, we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI. You united everyone. Everyone was united after you.
This woman's face is just super telling too.
Everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI. You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK.
Which, can we put our tinfoil hats on for a second? I think it's been a while since I've done that.
Please retrieve your nearest tinfoil hat. Place hat firmly on your head.
Because why would you say that? Why would you say that? Yeah, get the capes out. I mean, why would you ever say that? That makes no sense. Wouldn't you, like, instead of like, oh, like people don't know who Brian Koberger is? Like the media hasn't done 2 books and 2, 3, 4 massive documentaries. People don't know who Brian Koberger is, so you're just going to refer to him as BK. That I'm not even shitting on Steve G. This has nothing to do with the father of people. That's the other thing. I've given up on, like, people might disagree with this. This doesn't have anything to do with Brian Koberger. It really doesn't have anything to do with Mrs. Chapin being the spokesperson for Othram. This statement really has nothing to do with Steve G when I'm making my points. Okay, that ship has sailed, in my opinion. If something was going to be happening from the repercussions of this, guys, it would have happened. And I'm not saying that there's not stuff that's going to happen legally. There could be. But I'm saying this doesn't make sense. This you're not going to call him by his name. You're in the media. That's all the media has done. Yeah, I'd be like, shit, thank you for just using my initials. If there wasn't an Amazon documentary, there wasn't 2 books written about me, if I wasn't on the world news, if everybody didn't think that Brian Koberger was an incel and a loner and a stalker and some weirdo, right? I'd be like, damn, thanks, dude. Thank you for using my initials. But this makes no sense. It's perplexing.
Today you have no name.
Hey, God, last thing. As Brian Koberger, victim impact statements live now across the TV flash.
Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are. Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around and looked at me and said, what do we do, Dad? I told them, you get to work. You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew.
Guys, this is very similar to his first interview. Look, I want to go back and refresh everybody's memory about what we are doing here. So if you're just tuning in, we are going back to the beginning. We are forgetting everything that we think we know about the case. And tonight is about questioning the weirdness and demanding answers for it. Why are you able to turn a podium in a courtroom? For God's sakes, Ali Benevento, who worked the Murdoch case, was saying this is the most disgusting behavior she's ever seen in a court. And that the judge is pretty much just a giant PUSSY for not doing anything with the clapping.
You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes they had your DNA.
I think this is DA up here. Is that DA? And I'm sorry, DA, if that's not you, bro. Yeah, I'm so sorry because I already know what you're going to say Monday when I have you on stream.
DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless.
It's got to be him.
That foolish. That's stupid. Master degree. You're a joke. Complete joke. But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there. We shared it with the world.
I hate to keep pausing this, but isn't it weird how he's touching on everything that they talked about with Bethany saying, like, I didn't know if it was a prank. he knows you're going to hear Ethan singing in the Linda Lane. So he put that out there. I agree, Discord Dawn. I agree. Hey, if you guys are over on X right now, I'm going to end that stream on X. Come on over to YouTube, Birdie_Hive Mind, and to continue this live stream. Thank you.
World. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country, and eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started.
That seems like he was talking in code. Like, is that a WITSEC thing? What did he say? What did he say? What?
From this moment. From this moment.
Sorry, what is that?
From this moment. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing.
What was that, dude? I did not ever hear that the first time.
From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen. That will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with, God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this.
Hey, guys, I'm not even trying to be that guy right now. Look at Judge Hippler. Look at this picture down here. Tell me if you guys see him move at all.
We've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing.
I mean, right? That was
one last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen. That will be today or tomorrow.
He hasn't moved at all.
I'll close with,
or blinked.
God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Daily Show. My name is Jon Stewart.
And then
today.
Sorry. Hang on.
Your Honor, next is Steven Gonsalves, Kaylee's brother.
Steven's
actually gonna pass. I'm gonna go. Okay. Olivia Gonsalves, Kaylee's sister.
Buckle up, Hive.
Hello, I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonsalves, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief, I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee...
Okay, on a real note, I've seen like 9 comments come in. I don't want to make people suffer through this. I'm trying to listen for something that is telling. But yeah, I don't okay. I'm sorry, Hive. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I was gonna say, I kind of think it might be how many people have listened to it, assuming that you're just watching a random court case. Yeah. I'm going to go get one more Bush latte. One more Bush latte. We'll watch this. I need one for this. Okay, come on. Wait, why are people typing ones or 69? Play it. All right, I got to go get a beer. Please don't leave. I'll be right back. I know that people hate this song. I think it's funny. This is Tim Dillon's song.
It was normal, it was fine. Older folks got something out of it. The young people are getting nothing.
Wait, you're lying to us and I can own a house. I can barely have a job. Forced into the gig economy, I get to deliver burritos. I have to listen to this bullshit, pretend this is real. Can't afford frozen yogurt with my girlfriend. I have to go along with this horse shit with nothing and no money for it.
If you're doing something, you wanna get something out of it. If you believe the bullshit on the news,
You have to get a little bit out of it. What Americans got for many years was a patch of dirt, a little driveway, and a chance. We don't have any of that anymore. They've taken that all away from us. Patch of dirt, little driveway, a chance. Patch of dirt, little driveway, a chance.
and they pushed us into the hellscape of rent that goes up every year. And the propaganda's getting worse. More disconnected from reality, more Orwellian. They're asking us to believe crazier and crazier things, while taking away the little bit most people have.
People don't want to be billionaires. People want a house, a family, a little retirement plan, some money in the bank for an emergency. We want health care, a steady job, a community. It's so funny whenever I was playing that song and people didn't know that it was Tim Dillon. They were like, this song sucks. It sounds like AI. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is AI. I took literally Tim Dillon's transcript and I said, make an AI song out of it. And I think it did. Why are you guys typing ones? Oh, no. All right. Well,
Good thing I grabbed two. Is one in here? Mrs. Birdie's gonna be like, "Hun, you gotta stop doing the shotguns." Because she's gonna watch this in the morning and she's gonna be like, "What did you do last night?" Frank the Tank. Yeah, peer pressure on the internet. Well, I love you guys too. More than happy to shotgun a bush latte for the Hive. You guys are a bad influence. Yeah, there's worse things for sure. Half baked cookie says, "Me next, me next." That would be badass. What's your chat theory? What does that mean? Did you put LA Mike up to this? I love you guys too, Discord Dawn. A beer bong? Oh, that's funny. Mrs. Birdie's probably asleep. She's been watching that the Ed Gein documentary on Netflix. Honestly, that I watched a couple episodes whenever I go to bed. She's got it on still. That shit's creepy. Yes, you do, Lisa. You need to join that Discord. I don't think so. That was weird that one time. I did get a light bulb for the eyeball. I'm very disappointed in that purchase. You can't even tell what it is. It just looks like nothing. You can't even tell it's an eyeball. Well, I turned away from the mic. She's watching the Ed Gein docuseries, or not docuseries. It's like I don't know. It's like a 5 or 6 part series on Netflix. Yeah, the birdie sign looks great in the blue light. Which, by the way, I forgot. So I have people sent me stuff in my PO box, which I do have that. I'll put that in the Discord or Dawn. I don't know how people are getting the PO box. I'm not putting that out yet. Maybe I should. Again, I'm not asking for you guys to send me anything. I know people have said that, they sent me jerseys and hats and other stuff to wear on stream. If you guys send me anything like the bracelets or whatever, if you guys have like a home business and you have something, I'm more than happy to do that. But this comes from Ray. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to open this up on stream. This is from Angela Dasher, which I don't know if I'm really sorry if that's the username and then the real name. Oh man. All right, this is crazy. This is so fucking cool. Thank you. Oh man. Oh my god. That is adorable. Thank you so much. That is totally my type of humor. Nobody better get me a glitter bomb, shoe girl. And then I got one more here. Damn, these bags are hard to get open. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. Are you kidding me? Baby's first guide to questioning everything. Stop that. See, that's a Hall of Fame top dog. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that so much. Oh my God. No, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. We're debating. We're torn. We really don't have an opinion on it. We're like, should we or should we not? I'm kind of leaning towards we should find out. But I also think it'd be fun to not know. But I kind of want to see. Okay, this is amazing. Mrs. Birdie's going to come in here and be like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just doing some light reading, hun. Just some light reading. No, it's not the baby shower. No. See, I just need to read one page and I can already tell how awesome this is going to be. And the truth will set you free. Somewhere in a meadow so green and grand live all the animals of the land. The fish swim freely. Okay, this is amazing. Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Shout out to Ray. Why has the Hive not written a children's book yet? It talks about chemtrails. What of the chemtrail that streak the sky? Are they harmless or poison drifting by? Oh my God. Next thing you know, I'm going to have baby Birdie sitting right next to me in a high chair with headphones and a mic, schooling everybody. She said there's one more coming. Wow, that's so kind of you. Thank you, Ray. I really appreciate that. Genuinely. Thank you. This is epic. I didn't even know they made this. So yeah, thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. Big time. That's so awesome. Yeah, you got to start. Yeah. Well, absolutely. We can absolutely do that. I think Mrs. Birdie's getting excited about that too. She's like, I don't even know what that would mean though. What would that look like? And I'm like, I have no idea, but I feel like we could figure it out. It'd be kind of fun to like put like the webcam like up in the corner and kind of get like a bird's eye view. I appreciate it. Honestly, it's very like heartwarming and just awesome to see this. So without getting too sappy, I'm super excited to be a dad. Yeah. Get it? Bird's eye view. That would be great. That'd be super fun. The case won't be solved by then. Yeah. It really is just a great group of people. So our due date is May 23rd. So myself, my brother, and my sister were all born in May. which is kind of funny. When I was younger, my mom's license plate used to read 3 in May. And we would get, like, I remember being at stoplights somewhat regularly, and people would be like, what does your license plate mean? Like 3 in May. And she would just like smile so big and like point to the back seat. She's like, I had all my kids in May. I was like 14 and I realized my dad's birthday is 9 months before May. Oh, we were all just a bunch of birthday sex babies. That's what we were. Oh, yeah. Taurus father, Taurus son. Kron says, ew. How many May babies? Wait, is it a coincidence that we have so many May babies in here? So, okay, well, like I said, thank you guys so much. Let me, I don't know if I have the, one second. I'll put it in the chat. Because Mrs. Birdie got us a PO. Not that we don't trust or love you guys. Mrs. Birdie got us a PO box. Kind of a drive away. So the PO box. One second. Oh my gosh, why can't I find it? I got it. All right, I'm going to type it in the chat right now. So that's the PO box. And again, thank you in advance. Thank you to everybody. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah, Mrs. Birdie is smart for that. So like Dawn will text me, she'll be like, you got something in your PO box, you should go check. And I'm like, ah. It takes a little bit sometimes, but thank you. Yeah. I know. I know. Oconomowoc. Their high school name is something like 5 O's, which you can see where they probably got their name from. Is that really, Rochelle? How many people are B-Day SEX babies? Because it seems like that's relatively common. There's a lot of May babies in here. Maybe that's why we all get along. Your birthday's New Year's Eve? Is me Year's Eve? Taurus. Well, isn't it like from the astrology standpoint? Oh, Aries rising, I think, is what mine is. That would be fun. We could have, what do they call that when it's kind of like you get to buy a square for football games. Like that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys are in the Discord because that's where all this stuff goes. We have Halloween contests going on right now. Buy a vowel. Your daughter is, and wedding day was May 23rd. But this is so fun. You're May 14th? Yeah, Mrs. Birdie and I are working on that in general. But for now, the P.O. box will probably be. Wait. How do you say that? Anomenafa? Anomenafa. Anomenafa. Anomenafa? Hippity hoopla. I know. Dude, Milwaukee's an underrated city, by the way. I lived there for 7 years after college. So I'm born in May. Mrs. Birdie's in January. Your daughters are May 1 and May 30th. Is there anything that's 9 months before that's a special day? Summer Jade's born on May 23rd. I saw, oh God. He's still here. I thought that was going to go way differently, Detective Mowry. Detective Mowry, you have to shotgun a beer. Lamey Jamie's got 5 kids. Jeez. Conspiracy theory, Milwaukee. Yes, that's a must. Detective Mowry is banned from the Hive if he doesn't apply for the roundtable. I want him to apply just so I can deny him. You have 11 kids and 7 grandkids. Man, you know what's so funny you say that? It's Andrea. Not to totally go off on a side tangent here, but I will. When I was growing up, we would have family picnics. My grandpa had 13 brothers and sisters. Everybody in his generation had that many. Like, we have a huge family. Like, we have family still over in Poland, in Germany, Denmark. Like, we have family everywhere, and we would have these family picnics where everyone would come into town, and it was huge. And it's sad. Like, I've actually talked to my wife about, like, we need to be the couple that like restarts that up. Like, you would just go rent out like a big like gazebo at a public park, bring a couple grills, a giant boombox, set up like a badminton or like a volleyball net, a slip and slide, have like a water balloon contest, like a water balloon toss contest. Those were the days. It just seems like people try to avoid their family today in general from society, and it used to be such a staple in the old days. I wish it would just go back to that. Hanging out with your family when you're a kid, and you got your cool cousins and your uncles and your aunts. I don't know. For me, I feel very blessed and lucky that I would look up to them so much, like my older cousins. I'm telling you, we need to do a Vegas reunion. We actually, instead of Vegas, we should do like the Storm Area 51 type vibe. Yeah, your grandpa had 14 siblings. Your mom had 13. Christ. Yeah, fertile myrtles before they started poisoning our food. You'll roundhouse my bush latte. Detective Mowry, let's just be friends. I give you one mom joke a chat. I'm serious about that. We would like I think we have a big enough of a tight-knit community that we could probably pull something really fun off. That would be really reasonable. Really reasonable. Like, Oh man, that would be so fun. Now my brain is just racing of what we could all do. And yeah, never mind. Is there a story about the Indiana jerseys? Yeah. So my business partner for my other company is a huge IU fan. And I started out wearing jerseys on TikTok. And when I tell you he's a huge IU fan, go to his house, go downstairs, he bought this section of their court from back in the what was the era that they were. I'm not like a big IU hoops fan, but whenever they were really good, was it Coach Knight? He bought a section of their court and he made that his bar top, and his entire, instead of having like crown molding, he has just like game used basketballs and jerseys. It's like his man cave. And he gave me like 3 or 4 jerseys. So these are all like legitimate IU jerseys. I have to give them back, he said, but he's like, you can stream in them. Yeah, it was Bobby Knight. But yeah, I mean, IU has got a lot of history. That's how Mark Cuban actually got really rich. He came up with a radio system to listen to IU hoops games, and then he sold that off on the internet. He was like streaming it. Me too, Tiffany. Otham's 25 minutes from Detective Mowry's house. Well, Hive, I got one more Bezo. What shall we dive into? I don't know if I really want to listen to Olivia anymore. If you really want to, type a 1. If you don't, type a 2. You think I'm having a boy? See, I think that Mrs. Birdie and I, we're either gonna have all boys or all girls. I feel like being a girl dad would be a lot of fun, actually. Blue Eyed Candy says your house is divided. Hubs is UGA. Candy's Florida. Go Gators. That is a rivalry. Damn. Amanda B says 420. Thank you, Discord Don. LA Mike says go to Erica. Okay. So I've been trying to find this witness list. Who has it? Yeah, I'll talk to Mrs. Birdie about that. I'll get you guys the date. It's in Discord? I was looking for it before the stream. Are you Detective Mowry? Not Lamy Jamie. Is it Amanda B? Is it under the case chat? Bobby Buckets, yeah. Dude, IU hoops run deep, dude. Oh, the police document clues. All right, thank you so much. Pulling that up right now. Amanda B, which one is it? Because there's a lot of, there's the sheriff's return, criminal. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Dude, these are a lot of witnesses. Holy hell. Like, geez. This is my first time seeing this. Are there any wild names? Really? Oh, yeah. That's number 11. Well, you can't see that. Yes. Oh, yeah. Dr. Ramslin. Wow. Didn't she kind of completely stop anything with Brian Koberger in any of her interviews? That's what I thought. Jeez. I have not. My favorite 30 for 30 is the U about the University of Miami for football. YouTube just told you it's your bedtime. What does that mean? Wow. Is everybody out on Brian's sister? No, I know that Ramslin is professor who taught BK. I'm just saying she tried to shut down anything about him. Is there any, so besides Koberger's sisters, anybody that's super like sus on there or no? Dude, I feel like we've been streaming way longer than 2.5 hours. I can't believe we went 4 hours last time. I kind of want to just hang out and chat with everybody. But if you guys don't want to, I can keep diving into stuff. Obviously, I'm a few bush lattes deep at this point. Somebody made me shotgun one. LA Mike. No, I know, Noel, but I care about. I want you guys to enjoy it as well. Because don't get me wrong, I could get back into it. I only did one shotgun. Well, that's all you guys are going to see tonight. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Philly. Yeah, why is Brian's sister super suspicious? Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to go live either at 10 a.m. or noon. It depends on when Mrs. Birdie goes to work. So Mrs. Birdie has her own day of wedding coordinator business, which it's called Vow and Order. Perfect wedding, no exceptions. Kind of a play on Law and Order. I think that was so smart. Genius. I can't remember if she said 10 or noon, but if it's not till noon, I'm gonna hang out with her in the morning until she leaves. But if it's at 10, then yeah, I'll do it then. Yeah, we went to a wedding and or she helped her cousin out do the day of like coordination, and the photographer at her cousin's wedding came up to her and was like, "Oh, how long have you been doing coordinating?" And she was like, "I don't. That's my cousin." And she was like, "Oh, you should. You're like really good." Yada 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 whatever. Well, not even 5 days later, I'm sitting on the couch just relaxing. She comes up, she like taps my shoulder. She's like, "Hey babe, I think I want to quit my job and I want to start a wedding coordination business." And the rest is history. I mean, I believed in her. I was like, "I know you're going to crush it." And she has been, which is super cool to, witness and see. She's really good at it. Very organized. Do you know, I think I've said this, but Mrs. Birdie, honestly, my gorgeous wife, beautiful wife, so smart, and to the point where she was the valedictorian in her high school. She's embarrassed to put that on her resume. Do you know how weird of a flex that is? And she still gets every job. So she doesn't even have the fact that she was a valedictorian on her resume because she's like, it's just awkward to explain. And she doesn't put it on there. And I'm just like, hey, God. I have to try to make some analogy about how I was a college athlete and I have discipline and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You were the effing valedictorian and you don't even need to use that. It's just, she did a bunch of IT stuff before. So she's like, love her to death. When I say she's kind of like a nerd, I don't mean she's a nerd. Like she doesn't come off as a nerd, but she's very good at like coding and doing all that stuff. No, we did not go to high school together. So she was roommates with, so I was a senior, and she was a sophomore. We didn't really even know each other at college, but one of my teammates was dating her roommate. And then about 2 years after college, we all saw each other downtown Milwaukee, and my ex teammate was still dating her roommate. So it's kind of like mutual friends. I don't know. Oh, yeah. It's a flex to be a nerd. Everybody's nerdy in their own way. Shoe Girl says, how many people here want Mrs. Birdie to join Birdie on lives some nights? I think that'd be fun. Should we do that? I feel like what we could do is just get another mic set up, kind of raise the camera up, get another, like I said, get another mic. Yeah. I think she'd be great doing it. Yeah. She, like I said, she's super chill and she's a rock star. And it's like, oh, she just ran a marathon sub 2, pregnant, and then the next day runs 6 miles to get the lactic acid out of her muscles. And I'm like, wow. I've sat in front of my computer for 5 hours. I need to go to the gym and roll out and stretch and maybe I'll do some calf raises and some curls or something. I don't know. Can she beat me in shotguns? No, but Mrs. Birdie can hold her own. I'll tell you that much. In a fun way, like around the bonfire, she'll sneak up on you. She's she's watching. She's gonna be like, "Did you really say that?" So Mrs. Birdie loves Fireball, right? And she says that she calls me this, but I swear I gave her the nickname. And I call her the fire gremlin. Whenever she has enough Fireball, she turns into like a fire gremlin, just like mischievous, like disappears randomly. Like, just like shit goes down. Like, you know, when you're sitting around a bonfire up north, it's like dark. She'll just like kind of slowly dissipate into the darkness. You assume she's going to the bathroom, right? Then you'll just like hear like a pebble splash in the lake next to you and kind of freak you out. Like that's the fire gremlin that comes out of her. And I don't know why. There's no reason. There's no reason. Yeah, Lamy James like, no, that's called drunk. But it's so funny. Yeah, there is always like the one gremlin. It like I said, it's just like it's mischievous. Like I don't even understand how she'll think of it. Between that type of stuff and the aux cord, like she has to control the aux. She plays great music, but the fire gremlin. I should hack her username and change it to that. Yeah, right. Yeah, she's great. Now I'm just like, I'm trying to think back to like, so this is kind of funny. So Mrs. Birdie and I, when I met her, I was out, or not when I met her, but she slid into my DMs first, which is, she'd be like, no, you slid into mine. No, she slid into mine. Anyways, I was out in Las Vegas for a UFC fight with my uncle. And my uncle got me hammered, obliterated. Like that was my first time in Vegas. It's like 5-6 years ago. And we went to this UFC fight. It was actually Nick Diaz's last fight. So maybe it was less than that. But long story short, first time in Vegas with my uncle, the fun uncle. And we were on Fremont Street. And I remember we're like sitting at the bar and I was telling him about Aubrey. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to go up north. I was like, we're going to go up north next weekend. And he's like, why are you going to go up north? He's like, why don't you just stay here? Have her fly out and meet you here. He's like, we can just extend the room. You probably get a discounted rate. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, I think you should do it. Now, again, it's like my uncle and I, it's like 2:30 in the morning. Okay. He remembers this conversation. So the next morning at breakfast, I'm texting her. And I said, hey, I've been thinking about, going up north. Like I'm out here. And I said, I'm like, if I get a hand pay, which is like, I think it was anything over, what is a hand pay? It's like 1,200 or 1,100, something like that. You win enough on like a slot or something where you got to fill out a tax form. I don't remember what it is in Nevada. So I had said, if I win a hand pay, we'll come out to Vegas, or I'll fly you out to Vegas, and we can go to Louis the Child, which is the DJ. There was a pool party. Dude, I'm not even bullshitting you. By lunch, like we got a late breakfast. By lunchtime, I won a progressive jackpot on a slot machine for $3,800. And I was in Vegas for 11 days straight. My first time in Vegas. Okay. I had 4 IVs. I didn't know what day it was. Mrs. Birdie's first impression on a trip with me was that I'm a degenerate gambler. I came home with zero of the 3,800 after I could not stop losing at that point. Once she got out there, I had the worst scaries, but I did meet my wife, so it was worth it. But yeah, that was my first Vegas. That was my first Vegas trip. We've been out there and then oddly enough, then about 2.5 years later, for my birthday, we went out to Vegas, and it was, my birthday trip. I actually proposed to her out in Vegas, where we met, or where she came out there for the first time, where we did like our first trip together. Still lost on that trip. I've yet to recoup that progressive jackpot. Tony says, bad things happen at pool parties. Just ask Koberger. Vegas? What am I saying it like? Wait. Am I saying it wrong? Vargas? Vegas? Vegas. Vegas? I have no idea. That's the Midwest. I mean, can you guys tell that do I have a Wisconsin accent? I feel like there's some people in the Hive that are from Wisconsin. And then I see a comment like this, and I just immediately am like, oh no, how was I pronouncing that? Damn. I didn't realize how many comments were coming in like that. Jesus H. I have a lisp and I have a Wisconsin accent. I'm working uphill on this entire streaming thing. Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, that's how I met my wife. I was in Vegas for 11 days. Crime Tourist says, dude, hear yourself. Oh, man. Wisconsin. Don't you know? All right, I get it. Bagel. Hey, I'm a Californian? Okay. Missouri. Bagel. Day. Day. Oh, man. it's already weird to like have to edit streams and listen to yourself. So now I'm going to just be paying attention to this Wisconsin accent. Sherry sounds like Dolly Parton. Half Baked Cookie says, I'm from the holler. Bag L. Vag, like hag. Vagamite. Bagel. We will be here all night. That's right. So, just so you guys know, this is my like this is where I grew up. We have a comedian named Charlie Barons who's on every billboard in the Midwest.
Been to certain parts of the Midwest and wondered, have you or someone you love ever been to certain parts of the Midwest and wondered, hey there guy, can you borrow me a battery? What in the hell is this guy saying? A what? A battery. A bad tree? No, guy, not a bad tree. I'm talking about a battery for the clicker. Has your Midwest friend ever said to you, oh yeah, come on over, maybe bring a beer or treat? Then he gets mad when you show up with a tree. What in the heck is that? Keep her moving, put her down by the Davenport. Introducing the world's first Midwest voice translator and bottle opener. The only device that translates Wisconsinese, Ypernese, and Minnesotan into English. Where'd you say you want this again? I just put her down by the Davenport. Place the item by the couch. The Midwest voice translator works on simple phrases. Gee, did you eat? Complex phrases. So wearing my blaze orange up top, my camo down below. I am wearing my church clothes. Compound sentences. Guy says to me, you want a Bud Light? It says, I might as well swig from the bubbler. You know, it's a horse apiece.
Yeah, do you guys call water fountains or whatever you guys call it? We call it a bubbler. Like at school, I'm going to take a drink from the bubbler. We call it soda. Not some people call it pop. I call it soda. We're throwing some Midwest beers tonight. That's right, BH. Some Busch lattes. Water's water fountain. See, it's funny because tell me how you guys really feel. Tell me how you guys really feel. Wash. Yeah, my grandma did that. My grandma, like I said, she quit smoking. From the age of 14, she would smoke 2 packs of Virginia Slims a day. She quit smoking at like 60. I remember going over to her house when I was like 15 or 16, and I opened up the freezer to get ice, and there's cartons of Virginia Slims in the freezer. And I remember looking at my grandpa, and he goes, yeah, your grandma likes to stare at them. Like, she couldn't let it go. Like, she kept Virginia Slim darts in her freezer just to go stare at them.
And asked me if I wanted a Bud Light. I told him I might as well drink from the water fountain. It's the same thing. And even profanity.
I hope that doesn't have a copyright thing. That's all right. You guys get the point. The Midwest translator. At this point, we're just hanging out. But I should probably get going to bed. I just finished my last Busch latte. I hope you all have a great night. So tomorrow between 10 a.m. and noon, I'll get it scheduled in the morning when I wake up. I got to get up early tomorrow. So I'll have it scheduled in the morning so you guys will know what time it is. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.